when I told Dricky that myself and Nick were actually going into this venture and told her about Veldskoen, first of all, she laughed, like a bellow of laughter that came out of her. And then the second thing she said to me is, as long as you don't quit your day job. That was her response to my, I'm starting Veldskoen.
I mean, what does these guys know about footwear?
The story begins with a road trip from Plett to Cape Town. And we started speaking about the 2016 Olympics, where South Africans came out, and we just felt that South Africans could have worn something better. And there was nothing that sort of screamed South Africa.
What do most or all South Africans recognize as a South African thing? And the Veldskoen is one of them. The problem was, of course, that Veldskoen at the time were a little bit boring. And if they were going to be worn at the Olympics by our champions, it needed a little bit of energy, a little bit of that Mzansi magic, like a little bit of color added to it.
Nick had a designer on his books at that stage, and phoned him and said, "Listen, take the South African flag and put in some of those colours onto, but just the sole, not the uppers, just the sole." The images were incredible. He sent them on to me, and yeah, when you sort of flicked past them, you sort of saw these colours coming alive, and you sort of started thinking about things, what this shoe could represent.
Veldskoen had looked a certain way for 300 years, and in that moment, it looked different for the very first time. People have visited South Africa and loved it here. They've invariably worn a pair of Veldskoen. And that has happened throughout since we've started. So we've had Matthew McConaughey, we've had a whole raft of sportsmen, we've had loads of people just love the shoe. It's a stitched down, really comfortable, very well made shoe that is perfectly made for Africa and turns out very popular in the rest of the world.
Pre-Dricky, disaster. Not gonna lie. That was our stock take took what? All of 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty loose.
The minute I walked in and, I kind of like had a look at what's, systems we had in place, I knew that, like through very, very small interventions, I can make a big difference. We love brand, we know about marketing, I know about inventory management, logistics, operations, etc. But you need that kind of like tool that just puts it all together. And for us, that really is Xero and a team like Iridium.
I'm Peter Magna, and I'm the Sales and Marketing Director at Iridium. So when we first started with Veldskoen, it was actually an inventory project. They were a fast-growing business that needed to get a handle of their inventory. So we actually met with all the directors and owners and talked through the solutions that we can provide. And actually off the back of that, they decided to switch their accountants to us.
I'm Simon Magna, the founder of Iridium Business Solutions. We started in 2013 and we've been going for almost 10 years. The biggest benefit for Veldskoen from using Xero has been just accessibility to data, having online information and being able to plug that into reporting tools and actually manage their business.
Through Iridium and Xero, we are now just at a point where we have absolute peace of mind. At any given stage, you can log on and you get accurate information.
I think it's the simplicity of Xero that the people on their team are able to easily use the system to manage their sales, to account for their expenses at the end of the month, to have a good view of their overall profitability across their various departments and divisions.
The most pivotal moment definitely was the Olympics.
When the first line of people came out and they were wearing the yellow, black, red, South African flag colours, the minute they walked out and it were in fact our shoes, I mean, we were done.
The fact that it tied a bow around the original conversation between myself and Ross made that so much more special. I think what the Olympics signified was we grew up. We had graduated almost from being a startup into being a nationally and starting to be internationally known brand.
I think it's just about celebrating everything that is South Africanness. And I think that for us is very exciting. And we want to tell those stories. And we want the world to know what South Africa is about. There's a lot of positivity coming out of South Africa, and that's what we want to share.